Hello and welcome to the 25th episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
And I am Sam Tiller, and we want to thank you for lending your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
And it's another one of those weeks where it's just the boys.
The boys. Just guys being dudes.
We love that. No chef this week, just the boys hanging out, vibing. What this world really needs, I think. Fabio, how's it going? What's new?
Nothing much. Just living the dream.
Getting psyched for your Suicide Boys concert tomorrow?
Oh, you know it. About to get angry.
How are you going to style your hair? You're going to do like something nice and cute, or maybe something like that swoops down, covers
I'm just
one of
going
the
to
eyes?
shave it, take off my shirt, and just kind of start throwing my body around, you know?
Nice. I also think
flailing.
another good option would be your hair that you did for that goth bike bar.
Ooh, that wig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe some of those fake tats. I
The
think
problem, though,
that'd
is
be
you
nice.
kind of like get called out for being a poser pretty quickly, you know? Like, people are going to know those are fake. Be like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't just wear fake face tats at this.
I mean, you can. There's nobody.
Then just
no
go
one's
get
stopping
real
you.
fake face tats. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, it's a good time of the year.
Maybe if I have some extra time on the way to the concert tomorrow, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Stop by Spencer's.
No, I'm talking about stopping at the tattoo shop, getting a real one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Sounds like a plan to me.
it's a great time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holiday
It's
season.
the holiday season.
I'm on fat watch right now.
Just a joyous time of year.
It is. The food, the family, mostly the food.
Mostly the food.
For the next month, it's all about good food, eating good in the neighborhood.
And good sports, because this is when football season really gets, you get down to the nitty gritty the last month of college football season. We're in the middle of it right now, but yeah, it's a great time for the holidays. It's getting colder. Hopefully we get some snow here so we can go shred some POW.
Quitting my job,
Yeah.
down to 12 credits, shredding that hard.
Yeah.
Do we have any like Olympics or X Games content in the near future?
Well, I know the Winter Olympics are in February, I believe.
Huh.
That could be a fun one.
That could be. And then there's probably no X Games Aspen because of the Winter Olympics.
No, I think they still do it
Do they?
because I think it just becomes a qualifier for the Olympics. Maybe
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah,
we
I
can
mean,
do a little recap on it.
Yeah, I mean, I love X Games Aspen. That's always a very good time.
I want to go so bad.
Yeah,
it's like one of my like
It'd be
top
sweet.
dream events to go to. Probably is X Games Aspen.
Yeah, dude, the shit they do with the snowmobiles at that event, it's
No.
it's
They had to like
ridiculous.
tone it down. People like
Yeah,
died
'cause
every
those-
single year
Yeah,
at
'cause-
X Games.
Yeah, because there were those brothers who did it, and then one of them died, and one of them like just obliterated his pelvis in the same year, like a day apart.
And then he came back after his pelvis.
Yeah, dude, that
Like
guy,
he came back
yeah.
the next year to like redeem himself, and he was like, "Dude, stop
I know,
snowmobiling!" Like,
yeah, it was bad, man.
Gee, I think that's what happens when you drive a snowmobile, and doing flips and shit. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
that's not
it's scary,
super
man.
you can
surprising.
tell it's just like a really invented like human sport because like the ramps are not meant like the ramps aren't snow. The ramps are completely wood and like turf,
Yeah,
and you don't even ride on snow for snowmobile tricks. It's just like ramps basically.
it's just
No,
sketchy.
thanks. I'm good.
It's like
Yeah.
doing flips with the jet ski underneath
Yeah.
you.
I'm good.
Yeah, you got to have some South Park balls to want to do that.
Yeah. Well, this is a sports podcast hosted by two former jocks whose sports knowledge is a mile wide and an inch deep. Whether it's breaking down the latest slate of professional, college, and obscure sports, or debating the best game day traditions, we've got you covered. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod, and give us a listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Pods. We have got quite the show today, don't we?
We do. We're covering a lot.
We are.
It's not just football.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're taking not a full break from football, but it's nice to recognize that other sports are happening.
Absolutely.
This is a good time of the year because we have the NBA is back, we have college basketball that's back, NFL, college football. I mean, this makes up for the months of April, basically through August.
Yeah. The issue I have is like there's too much. You could watch sports all day, every single day this time of year.
And we have been.
Yeah, we have, but like it's a lot.
It is. But again, it's, we go 6 months out of the year with nothing or whatever.
Nah.
That's, I guess, not 6, but April to August is pretty rough.
It is pretty rough. It is.
But let's get into some I disagree.
Hold on real quick. You did mention the NBA, and I know we don't talk about NBA a lot on here, but I just want to briefly point out the season that Mr. Steph Curry is having so far. Good God. He is balling out. He just broke Ray Allen's all-time three-point record, and it's not a surprise that he did it, but Jesus, he is balling. The Warriors are balling. They're like 11-2. And they don't even have James Wiseman or Klay Thompson. If they're not the favorite, if you don't think they're going to win an NBA championship this year, you're out of your fucking mind. They look terrifying because Steph is playing at an MVP level again. And that should scare the shit out of the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the next fucking 10 years. They're going to go on one of those runs again where it's 4 years in a row. I
mean, as much as people hate on that Warriors dynasty, it was fun they were fun to watch play basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was so just pure, and they just played the game so well that it was just their ball movement was ridiculous.
And everybody on the team is like likable. There's no, I mean, I guess Draymond is kind of a,
KD's kind of a villain.
But yeah, very fun to watch. But it's one of those things where it's like the Patriots. Like you're so tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
Every single championship.
Yeah. I mean, after a while, it does get old, but they were very fun to watch play basketball.
No doubt.
In their heyday. So yeah, shout out Steph. He's balling.
All right. So for I disagree with this week, a little more opinionated, not necessarily based on facts. The prompt is thus: what athlete, living or dead, would you want to have dinner with, and why? Kick it off for us, pal.
Vince Lombardi.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought about this one for a while, and I couldn't really think anybody better than Vince Lombardi. In my eyes, he's still the greatest coach in NFL history. Yes, Belichick is right there, but just some of the stuff that this guy did. He took the Packers to 3 straight Super Bowls and 5 of the first 7. That's pretty good. His regular season win percentage, 73.8. He only lost 34 regular season games, and he was 9-1 in the playoffs.
I would say that's a pretty decent resume.
Yeah, there's a reason the Super Bowl trophy is named after him. He's the father of the NFL. He really set the groundwork for what it is today, and those Packer teams with Bart Starr, some of the greatest teams of all time, the most iconic teams of all time. It would be very fun to sit down with him, pick his brain about football, because he knew a lot about football. Granted, it's old, it's mostly outdated, but still just to...
What's the blueprints of what the NFL was?
Exactly. I mean, they didn't really throw the ball like we see in the league now, but just to be able to kind of sit down with him and talk about everything that they went through and that he accomplished would be a lot of fun. I mean, he's the most legendary person associated with the NFL, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. That's a great choice. The intern, what did our dearest intern pick? She picked, Kobe Bryant. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a great one.
She was saying that, such a humble guy, strong competitor, a philanthropist, passionate guy involved in youth sports. She wants to talk to him about his amazing career and know him as a girl dad with 20 years experience in the league. He left a massive impact on the NBA, and she would love to just get a chat with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just basketball with him. He was big into like the directing. Like, he won that Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he would have been a very interesting guy to sit down and have a couple drinks with, for sure.
I chose somebody just one of the most famous faces on the planet, O.J. Simpson.
Oh my God! Stop.
No,
Hey, Twitter world.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, O.J. Mahomes. Who let him have Twitter back?
Dude, I don't know.
Who let him?
Who let him out of jail?
I know. It's so nuts.
Shout out to the United States court system.
God, I wonder if he's going to kill again. I don't know.
Did you see that video of him in Vegas?
Trying to kiss that girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was
that was
bad.
a lot.
Oh, that was so bad.
So I chose Mike Tyson simply because he was, forever will be the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
You don't get that nickname unless you are just a savage, an absolute savage. I think he's lived a lot of life through his years, going from, being on top of the world. One question I want to ask him is, what does an ear taste like? You don't get to talk to a lot of people who've bitten somebody's ear off.
No, it's probably like him and Van Gogh.
Yeah, but I mean, did Van Gogh eat his own ear?
I don't know. I mean, he cut it off. So
yeah.
I mean, I figure like
maybe just give a little dab.
Yeah, like if you cut your ear off, you're not gonna be like, It's like you're a kid when you pick your boogers. Like kids eat their boogers because they're like, I wonder what this tastes like.
I never did. I never ate my bugs.
I find that extremely hard to believe. Every kid eats boogers.
No,
I never did that either.
No, because it's in your nose. Like why?
Yeah, I picked my nose a ton.
Yeah, but
I love picking my nose.
Okay, but like, when you're like a toddler, you don't know any better. You're not like, oh, it's my nose and this slimy thing's coming out of it. Like, I probably shouldn't eat that. You just go, what? Oh, what's that?
Well, now we're into the dry season, so now all my bugs are just crusty. But can I get back to Jesus? Sorry. Mike Tyson. So he's been through so much in his life, and I would love to talk to him about his upbringing and how he was basically like the chosen one for boxing. He was selected at such a young age and just has been training his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, his dad basically forced him to become this savage.
Yeah, and I would love to understand his mentality before going out for a fight and what it's like to be that dialed into something.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I would love to ask him what it feels like to knock somebody out. That has got to be, especially at that level. Like, you see street fights and, people get knocked down, but
to have an arena erupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then really fucking knocking somebody out cold. And I would love to talk to him about his comeback, because he had a comeback fight recently with Roy Jones Jr.
Was it really a fight?
No, but I mean, the shape that he got into.
Oh, it was scary.
Yeah, because he got a little chunky, and then he was like, you know what, I'm just going back into it. And he talked about that before in a couple of interviews where he didn't want to train again because he didn't want to unlock that mentality, that fighting mentality again, because he didn't like that person. But he came back, and, I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's an unbelievable human being.
I'd want to ask him, what's it like to own a tiger?
Yeah, that's certainly a great question. Yeah, and how bad did it hurt when he got the face tat? Yeah, but
he has lived a very interesting life because, like you said, from his fighting career in his prime to then really just partying his ass off once he retired to now being kind of getting back to a more central life.
Right.
And yeah, one of the most famous people of all time.
I'd ask him about his weed hotel.
His what?
His weed hotel he has in California.
He has a weed hotel?
He has a weed ranch, and you can go stay there. And it's a full, because he has his own weed line thing. He talked about it on Rogan a bunch, but he has a home his own weed brand, but it's he owns every part of it. And it's this huge farm you can go visit and stuff. It's crazy.
So you can just go stay at his weed farm?
Go
Basically,
figure.
And it's staying at a winery.
Oh.
Mike Tyson is the proud owner of a 420-acre weed resort near Desert Hot Springs in Southern California. The property further extends his $1 million cannabis empire that started in 2016.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the world's longest lazy river and a grand venue for you. Because what's better than getting high and just hanging out in a lazy river?
Yeah.
There's no better feeling.
That's a pretty good attraction, I guess.
Yeah, it's a real complex there. All right. let's break into some intern report. Our hardworking intern, we love her. Let's see. Oregon Wazoo. Wazoo looked good going into half. It was tied at 14, but the Ducks pulled away. Georgia Tennessee. Didn't really like that game. I didn't.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Just a huge win.
Yeah. So close.
We'll get into that later.
Baylor OU. We're going to get into that later, too.
Yeah.
Michigan Penn State. Michigan remains in the Big Ten championship chase. UW ASU. Jimmy Lake. Jimmy Lake is gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Of course, we have to talk about Alabama. They played a high school team.
Yeah, like why is that? Like, okay, come on. The line was 52.5, and they won by 56. Like,
I love that our friends who talk crap about Oregon and their strength of schedule and whatever, strength of record. Alabama, at the entire SEC, almost, it seems like they have a bye at this time of the year, every single year.
They do.
Essentially, it's a bye.
Yeah, Georgia plays, like, South Alabama this week.
Like you couldn't fill the rest of the schedule with conference games? I don't know. No, it's just me. No,
well,
I'm not.
It's because they, like, you have the 3 non-conference games and the 9 conference games, but they just schedule their conference games to start week 3 instead of week 4 so that they can get this bye later in the season. Because, let's face it, Alabama's starters probably played maybe the first quarter and a half, and the same thing's going to be true with Georgia this weekend. Their starters are going to play the first quarter and a half, and then that's it. And, like, anybody can play a quarter and a half of football. That's a bye week.
Yeah. It's more like a scrimmage. You're just getting the 2s and 3s some reps.
Exactly.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
We head to the NFL. Bananas weekend.
Yeah,
in the
crazy
NFL.
weekend.
Kicked it off with a Thursday night game, the Dolphins and the Ravens. Dolphins coming out on top 22-10.
The AFC's a mess.
It's a disaster. You know, I'm going to
shout out to your hottest take of all time.
I'm going to eat my words, okay? Yeah, the AFC is not looking like the dominant conference, all right? I said it. I'm wrong. I own it, all right? I own it, Bubba. Coleman. Seahawks Packers, we're just kind of going to skip over that one. Bills Jets. Bills came back after a rough game last weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And looked like the Bills.
Mike White, his Cinderella story is over. He threw 4 picks.
Yeah.
Panthers Cardinals, Cam Newton's back. 34-10 over the Cardinals. Tough to kind of gauge this game because Kyler was out.
And so was D-Hop.
Yeah. Cam Newton is still Cam Newton. I'm back. Taking his helmet off.
No, he's not MVP Cam Newton anymore. That's pretty blatant. I think he is going to be valuable for them because he's healthy. And when's the last time Cam Newton was healthy at the end of the season?
Yeah, he's rested.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So this late in the year, when he's fresh and healthy, I think he'll be fine. But he's not a starter in the league, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's huge because we're at week 10, week 11 now. Everyone is banged up, and now they have to go tackle Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's not fun,
especially at the goal line. I mean, look for the Panthers to sneak back in, especially with CMC.
I said they were going to be good. They're back.
Okay. And then we get a little bit. We come back to normalcy. Patrick Mahomes looks like himself again. He had a big win over the Raiders.
They looked good last night.
Yeah, maybe they're not broken anymore. Thank you, intern, for that lovely report. We're gonna get into of course. Let's get into some mom's spaghetti. Do you have the mom spaghetti? There we go. Can I kick this one off?
Go for it.
Well, yesterday we were treated to an unbelievable Grand Prix.
Yeah.
In the Formula One world. It started out, the weekend was just batshit crazy.
It was wild. Yeah.
So
lots of controversy.
So, Lewis Hamilton gets penalized for having an illegal, there was
There was
an infringement found on the rear wing of his car, so he was disqualified from the qualifying session.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know, but the rear wing on those cars, when they get that DRS, it can only open 85 millimeters. And his was opening more because it was malfunctioning.
Got it. And that caused Max Verstappen, to kind of touch it and kind of poke and prod.
Yeah.
And he was handed a 50,000 euro fine. And, the F1 commissioners kind of gave a lengthy, rationale for the fine. And they said that there was no direct harm that was caused. So they, Mercedes was thinking that, like, oh, Max touched it, so maybe he, damaged it or something like that. But I think
it's not like he went up to it with a bat.
Right. He kind of
just,
whatever. But let's get to the race. After starting in 10th place, Lewis Hamilton does Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
And he laps Max Verstappen, not laps, but passes Max Verstappen on the 59th lap for his 101st win. Verstappen led for most of the race, but Lewis Hamilton overtook him.
Yeah, he had unreal pace this weekend. It was impressive to watch. And in the sprint race, he started 20th, and the sprint race was 24 laps. And he got up to 5th. And then he had the 5-place grid penalty for his engine swap. So he faced it was one of the greatest weekends, I think, of Lewis Hamilton's career. He overcame so much, and he still won that race. He battled back from 2 grid penalties and still won.
Yeah. There was a little bit of controversy. While Hamilton was in DRS, he made a lunge around the outside of Max, and Max kind of
squeezed him
to the outside.
He 100% squeezed him off the track.
Yeah, the FIA didn't take any action. They didn't think it was there was no penalty involved. Toto Wolff was not very happy with that. And neither was Lewis, obviously. We're setting up. There's three Grand Prix left. It's heating up. Verstappen still has a 14-point lead over Lewis Hamilton going into the Qatar Grand Prix. But Mercedes has an 11-point lead in the Constructor Cup.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great 3 weekends because they're just gonna be battling it out. Yeah. And if Lewis wins 2 of them, he's gonna win the championship. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no doubt. What did you? Oh fuck! God damn it! Just go.
Oh
just
yes, go. Soccer baby.
Before you start. If you're not into soccer, skip the next 10 minutes.
It's not going to be 10 minutes. Soccer, I mean, oh God, that game on Friday night was absolutely incredible. One of the most gut-wrenching games I've watched in a while. USA-Mexico World Cup qualifier. A big deal, too, because the U.S. was in second place in the qualifying behind Mexico at 11 points. Mexico is at 14. Now, since the USA won 2-0, which for my non-Spanish speaking friends means 2-0. And so they are now atop the World Cup qualifying table at 14 points, but they hold the tiebreaker over goal differential. And Captain America, he did it again. And he's got himself a new nickname. It is no longer Captain America. He's the man in the mirror. And the reason he's the man in the mirror is because Memo Ochoa, the Mexican goalkeeper, was talking some shit this week. And he said in a press conference that Mexico is the mirror in which the United States wants to see itself. And they've lost 2 straight to us at this point. Nations League final, Gold Cup final, both in the summer. So,
it's like, are you serious?
Christian Pulisic scores, and then he lifts up his jersey, and on his undershirt, he wrote, "Man in the Mirror." One of the most savage moments I've ever seen. Fuck Memo Ochoa. He's a piece of shit. I hate the Mexican national team. I think they are so incredibly dirty. They just foul so hard, and then they just bitch and moan when stuff doesn't go their way. And it's the first time since 1937 that the United States men's national team has beaten Mexico 3 times in a calendar year. Big moment. And the narrative around this team in the beginning of the summer was lots of talent. We think that they're going to be really, really good, but they need to grow into their own. And throughout the summer and the World Cup qualifying, we have seen them grow into their own. And the narrative is switched from we think they can be good to, okay, this team is good. They can compete on the world stage. Let's go. World Cup next November. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. We still got 7 games to go in the qualifying. Jamaica tomorrow night. No Weston McKennie. So who knows? But just a phenomenal win for that program from where they were 4 years ago to where they are now. Just great. Wonderful to see our 2 biggest stars score, Pulisic and McKennie. Just it's great to see us finally getting good at soccer and beating Mexico on a consistent basis. Because those Mexican fans, they don't like it.
I'm sure they don't.
They have ruled CONCACAF for years. And now you got USA. We're on the up and up. Canada's on the up and up, too. Mexico plays Canada tomorrow as well. That'll be a great game.
Okay.
That had to be my mom's spaghetti because my palms were sweaty, baby. Oh, my God. I was watching that game in my room alone, and when Pulisic scores...
We heard you. We heard you upstairs. We were watching football upstairs.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, like, jumping around, like, in my little room, just going absolutely bananas. Oh, it was great.
So happy for you. The interns. Mom's spaghetti is Tua Tagovailoa beating the Ravens after the game.
But did he? Because he didn't start the game.
No, but that, according to the intern, he did.
Okay.
After the game, he had the game ball in his injured hand, waved his arms to the crowd to celebrate the win. He led, the intern said he led the team to victory, savored his MVP moment before taking a bow, walking into the tunnel.
So is she saying that he's going to win the MVP?
I think she's insinuating it.
That is bold.
She should save that for hot take.
The Dolphins don't even like him.
They're not winning. They're not good.
The Dolphins want to trade him. They were willing to give up like 6 draft picks to get Deshaun Watson, who may never be able to play another down in the NFL. Just to get rid of Tua.
Not good. Not good. Yeah, intern, come on. Let's
like, are you serious?
It is like, are you serious?
Are you serious?
God,
are you serious?
damn.
Are you serious?
Seriously, intern. She's going to listen to this tomorrow and text me. She's not going to be happy with me. All right. How about some hot, spicy takes? Do we still have those sound effects from the old studio?
Which ones?
We used to do something for hot take.
Yeah, it was like the spooky sound for hot take.
You still?
That one, yeah.
That's taking me back to Office Evolution. All right. Hot take. What do you want to kick this one off?
Sure. Speaking of Oregon, Wazoo, I said during the game at, 11:30 at night in my drunken, delirious haze.
We were both delirious.
Yes.
Pac-12 After Dark. This is not a hot take. Pac-12 After Dark
sucks.
is the worst. The worst.
It is.
They not only did the game end at, midnight.
It was midnight.
Throughout the game, there were a couple of calls, especially that Anthony Brown goal line fumble,
Yeah, it was
where they
pretty bad.
couldn't get a camera angle. This is ESPN. You're covering the 3rd-ranked team in the country, and you can't even get a proper broadcast? It's like, are you serious?
Yeah, it was
Are
bad.
you serious?
But anyway, in my drunken, delirious haze, I said that Oregon may fuck around and win a natty this year.
You
And
did.
so-
You said that many times.
Yeah,
And I tried to stop you,
Yeah, well,
but it didn't.
yeah, and
It didn't work.
I'm a man of sticking to my word, and when I say something, I'm just gonna ride it until it dies. And I'm gonna ride this because Oregon, after their slump, has started to look better and better and better every week. Take out the second quarter of that game, they dominated Wazoo. absolutely dominated them. It wasn't a competitive game. It
should have been 38-17. There was Wazoo scored a garbage time
yeah,
touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 21-point win. Wazoo couldn't do anything offensively in the second half. They started the game great and then hit a little lull in the second quarter. But I think they're playing better and better every week. This weekend against Utah in Salt Lake is going to be tough. Who knows? Who knows? I think they're playing some of their best football right now. But, yeah, their big test is going to be this weekend and then again in the Pac-12 championship game because they've basically secured the North at this point. So the the championship game is going to be them and Utah as well. So 2 of the next 3 weeks we got to play Utah. That's going to be tough. But if they get through it, everybody's saying that they have a 5% chance to get to the playoff and all this crazy stuff. There's no way. Come on. A one-loss Pac-12 champ that beat Ohio State in the shoe, they're in. They're 100% in.
We have a friend who is a Husky fan, so he has a very tough life.
Very sad life.
Very sad life. He was talking some smack last night, and he was saying some outrageous things. And we're going to keep his name out of this. Or should we? Should we expose him for?
I don't care.
Bubba Becker.
Yeah. He was trying to convince us that a 2-loss non-conference champ Alabama team would get in over a 1-loss Oregon Pac-12 champ.
And what was he saying? He was saying that the strength of schedule when Alabama just played a high school team.
Yeah. And all he was saying was he just kept saying, it's Bama, it's Bama, it's Bama. Guess what? It's a 2-loss team. There's never been a 2-loss team in the playoff.
Non-conference champion.
Yeah, if they were a 2-loss conference championship and it's Bama, different discussion. But if they don't win the SEC, which they're not, I'm sorry, they're going to get smacked by Georgia. There's no chance in hell if that they get in. And if they do, the playoff committee needs to be burned.
Yeah. I don't understand why everybody in the country hates Oregon. It's like, what do you want them to do? Of course, they lost to Stanford. Sure.
Beat who you play. You cannot control strength of schedule. If your conference sucks, that's not your fault. Look at Clemson. Clemson has dominated the ACC for years. Granted, they're having a down year this year, but that conference sucks. They would play one ranked team a year. So how can you bolster your strength of schedule? Out of conference play. What did Oregon do? They went and played Ohio State in Columbus and beat them.
And they're opening with Georgia next year in the Chick-fil-A kickoff, I believe, in Dallas.
Exactly. So you cannot control what your conference is and what it is not. And if your conference is not good, that cannot be a knock against you. If you line up every single week and beat who you are scheduled to play, it doesn't matter if your conference is the worst Power 5 conference in the nation. You're in.
Truer words have never been spoken, my friend.
Thank you.
For my hot take, there were some amazing college basketball games over the weekend, specifically UCLA Villanova.
That game was crazy.
That was an insane game. And first of all, UCLA is going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good.
They're very talented. Johnny Juzang, Jaime Jaquez. Jay Billis was saying this during the broadcast, and it made a lot of sense. So my hot take is that college basketball scores will be lower across the board for this year. There are players who decided to, take their COVID year and come back. And with that comes experience and wisdom. You're not going to see a lot of, these guys just hawking up threes and taking stupid shots. I think that with the older experienced players are going to slow the game down. And I think that the scores will reflect that across the board this year. I think with more age this year, it's an old year for college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think the scores will be lower.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
And the intern's hot take is that Tua will win the MVP. No. No, her hot take is that the NFL COVID protocols favor the quarterbacks. Why is it that every time
What is that
What
noise?
is happening over there?
It's the really old heater, but it's the one on the other side of the wall.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds like the building's about to collapse.
It
That's what I
does.
thought. I thought we were going down. The intern says the NFL COVID protocols favor quarterbacks. Why is it every time that a quarterback goes into COVID protocol, they always seem to be cleared right before their game, yet when it's any other player, they're in protocol for like a month? This must be two of them.
She's talking about Rodgers here.
Oh, yeah. So Rodgers' fine was much cheaper than what some of the taunting fines have been recently for some players in the league, DK. And who else was it? Somebody else.
Oh, it was CeeDee Lamb for having his shirt untucked.
Yes.
He got a $20,000 fine. Yeah. Well, look, it's a quarterback-centric league.
Yeah. In order to make money, you need to have a good product, and with that, you need the best players, the most points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is favoring quarterbacks, which I 100% agree with her that it is, I mean, I'm not going to say that they have a right to do it, but it makes sense.
I mean, Big Ben is in protocol right now. He got nixed from the game like moments before kickoff.
Yeah, so he'll probably miss 2 games because he won't be cleared. Because they are still abiding by the 10-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, well, are you serious?
Are you serious?
We are serious.
We are serious. The interns, are you serious? The Seattle Seahawks and their horrible, piss-poor showing against the Packers. That was, it was good for my fantasy team. We got a little momentum, my fantasy team. But what happened? It's Russ's first game back in 4 weeks.
He was rusty.
I think his finger was still bothering him. I think that there's, he was saying there, 19 hours a day rehab.
That's outrageous.
I think his finger was still bothering him. Like you said, I think he was very rusty. I thought Shane Waldron was hired to fix these problems.
Yeah, so did I.
It seems like this year we're running the ball when we should be throwing, and then throwing the ball when we should be running. And that was the case yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that, we tried to throw the ball against the Packers. They have a pretty good secondary, but they were pretty susceptible in their run defense. I mean, we were getting some good chunks from Alex Collins. They seemed to just abandon it and try to force, Russ to do those moon balls and to do Russ things, which we all love. But if it's not there, it's not there.
They are also so bad on third down.
They were atrocious.
Oh my
Their
God.
average third down was like 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and then they don't even get yards. Russ just gets sacked.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating to watch. Oh my God.
It was not good.
It's so bad. And yeah, because when Shane Waldron came over from the Rams, I was thinking that it was going to be more like the Rams offense with motions and getting the quarterback out of the pocket. And I don't know why we don't move the pocket more with Russell, because he's great throwing on the run and the offensive line sucks. So why don't we get him out of the pocket? Nope, it's just straight drops every single time. And I was hoping that with Shane Waldron that was going to change. There would be better concepts, like level concepts. We don't have level concepts in our passing game offense. We're either going to throw slants or it's a streak.
Yeah.
Or
a post, an occasional post.
Yeah, an occasional post, but it's just so bad. There's no creativity. They expect all the creativity to come from Russell's legs and a scramble drill. And I hate it.
They're not doing well. Those
No.
Hawks, but still go Hawks. For my Are You Serious? Let's have a little chat about the University of Texas Longhorns.
Horns down, baby.
Horns down. Wow, they had a rough one. They played Kansas over the weekend. Kansas was a 31-point underdog coming into the game. They knocked off the Longhorns in overtime to snap an 8-game losing streak and a 56-game losing streak in Big 12 road games that stretched back to 2008.
That's bad.
Texas rallied from a 21-point deficit in the second half to force an overtime. They had Casey Thompson threw a touchdown to Cade Brewer with about 22 seconds left on the clock. Texas gets the ball first in overtime. They score, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty set up Kansas with the short field, and the Jayhawks answered with a 2-yard touchdown run. And then they went for 2.
Yep.
And they threw it to the fullback. The walk-on fullback who's never caught a pass this year.
I thought it was his first play ever in college football. I thought that's what I saw.
Was it? I just read that he was a walk-on and he had never caught a pass.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Regardless, not a lot of action from that guy.
No.
So Texas is now 4-6 after starting 4-1. They've lost 5
tough.
in a row for the first time since 1956, and Texas has to win its last 2 games to become bowl eligible. And Kansas was outgained like 150 yards, but scored 21 points off turnovers.
Wow. Yeah.
Texas is super not back.
They are super bad. They're one of those programs, just like USC is, where the history and the culture of them makes everybody say every single year, oh, they're back, they're going to be good, and they're just not.
Nope.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I hate Texas.
They're really annoying, and the people who root for them are especially annoying, especially people we know. Anyways.
You're going to be you could potentially be one of those people.
Nope. Not me. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. All right, what you got?
That Baylor OU game. First of all, you have Oklahoma. In the Texas game, they benched Spencer Rattler, brought in Caleb Williams, and it brought a spark to their offense. And then he plays a bad half, and they bench him, and they bring back in Spencer Rattler. And these Oklahoma fans are bipolar because they were chanting for Caleb Williams in the Texas game, and then in the Baylor game, they're chanting for Spencer Rattler. It's like, make up your mind. What are you doing, Oklahoma? Pick a quarterback, stick with it. This swapping quarterbacks, it doesn't work. And then they lose.
When have we ever seen a 2-quarterback system work?
It never does. It doesn't work. You have to give 100% full confidence to your guy. And how to wreck your true freshman's confidence going, hey, you're our guy for 4.5 weeks. And then when you play a bad half against a decent Baylor team, you're done. What in the world is Lincoln Riley doing? He just ruined that kid's confidence. It's shocking. I could not believe they pulled him. And then Spencer Rattler just, he sucks. So that's the first part. The second part is Baylor and their fans. I'm still kind of confused on how that game ended because Baylor got the ball back and they're up 14, and then there's like 27 seconds left in the game, and there was like no play clock like counting down or anything, and they took a knee, and I was like, okay, this game's over. And so with like 5 seconds left, all the Baylor fans stormed the field, and then the clock was at 1, so I was like, okay, is it a delay of game? Like, what's going on? I had no idea. Apparently, Baylor called a timeout. Up 14 with 3 seconds left to kick a field goal. So the cops and the umps, they had to get everybody off the field, and then Lincoln Riley sent his team into the locker room.
He said the words, "We're done." He was yelling at the refs. He was, we're done. I sent my guys back.
Yeah. And then they made him bring 11 guys back out so they could kick the field goal, and it just absolutely ridiculous. That game lasted an extra 15 minutes because of that fiasco, trying to get the field cleared, and then you just have students just surrounding the field because they weren't going to go all the way back up into the stands, so they were just standing on field level watching that game-winning field goal, so then they just rushed the field, and it was even a quicker rushing. Just wild. But I learned that the third tiebreaker in the Big 12 is point differential. So I kind of get why Baylor kicks the field goal because it could help them get to the Big 12 championship. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points. Like, it's kind of a douchebag move.
Yeah. I mean, I was confused too, and then I don't know what broadcast we were watching, but then they explained like the tiebreakers and the point differentials and stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, that makes a little more sense. But
yeah, but
still, I mean, it is ridiculous.
I have never seen that ever in a college game.
Like, was the 3 points worth all of that bullshit?
100% was not. Yeah, just wow. And also, thank God Oklahoma finally lost because they were the worst undefeated team.
Yeah.
By far. So thank God they lost. The Big 12 is not getting into the college football playoff because Oklahoma was their only chance, and there's no way they're putting in a one-loss Oklahoma team.
No thanks.
So that was good. Good for the Ducks.
Good for the Ducks.
And good for Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens in the Big 10. But
well, let's close out with our least favorite segment of the week, Line of the Week.
It is our favorite segment.
It's not mine now.
It really is.
I'm down bad.
After the amount of shit that you talked to me just a short month ago, you're 3-1. I'm so much better than you. You can't do anything. Look who's in the lead now. It really sucks to eat your words, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's not great. I think I've learned, it's been a learning experience. Never bet against the New York Football Giants because they have somehow busted my record.
And apparently never bet against the Eagles. But when I bet against the Eagles, it hits. So.
God damn it. So as the rankings currently, right now you are 7-3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And the intern and I are tied at 7-4. You hold that.
Got that half game lead, baby.
We'll see. Did we decide how this is going to finish out?
No, we didn't because I wanted a longer time for me to catch up, but it only took a month for me to catch up. So
now we get to cater to whatever you want.
Let's just end it.
Sure. Let's cater to whatever you want. We'll figure that out later. Let's run through our lines. Since you're the leader, you get to start.
Oregon +3 against Utah. I'm shocked that Utah is favored. Also, FPI is giving Oregon like a 30% chance to win, which is fairly shocking. It just proves that the ESPN algorithm hates Oregon. I think this is a little bit of a trap game from Vegas to try to get you to take Utah, to try to convince the bettors that Utah is better than Oregon, and they're just not. They had a tough game against Arizona, who has lost 21 of their last 22.
Mm-hmm.
So Oregon +3 in Salt Lake. I think it's going to be a great game, but you're giving Oregon 3 points. They are outright winners.
Now you've put me in a bad position because obviously I want the Ducks to win, but I don't want you to win.
That's kind of why I chose it, because you were rooting against me hard in that Georgia-Tennessee game.
I was.
And then it really bit you in the ass on Sunday when the Broncos weren't even close to winning, weren't even close to covering.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm on a 4-game win streak. And I said, I think my line to bring me back was, I think it was an Oregon line. And I said, this is the line to get me back on track.
I think it was UCLA.
It was UCLA because they were also like 1.5-point dogs in that game for some unknown reason. And then they go in there and dominate UCLA. That was the line to get me back on track. And boy, oh boy, did it ever.
So humble you are.
I'm just stating facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, I'm on a 4-game win streak, and you've lost 3 of your last 4.
We're down bad.
That's a fact.
We're down bad.
You cannot dispute facts.
We're down bad.
Know why?
No.
You want to know why? Because they don't care about your feelings.
Okay, Shapiro. Anyways, the intern's line. Ravens -6 versus the Bears. Well, I was looking at that, and then I thought, the Ravens just lost to the Dolphins, so I'm going to leave them alone for a little while.
It could kind of be like a Cowboy thing against the Broncos, where they just, because the Cowboys just absolutely dominated. I don't even know who they played.
The Falcons.
The Falcons, yeah. I mean, they got blown out by Denver, and then same thing with the Bills. They get beat by the Jags. They go blow out the Jets.
Yeah.
I could see the Ravens absolutely dominating the Bears.
And my line, I am taking the Chargers -4 versus the Steelers. I like the line regardless, but now that Big Ben is questionable for the game,
I don't think he's going to play because he has to.
I guess it's 10 days.
It's 10 days.
Yeah.
He's not going to play. So it's going to be Mason Rudolph.
Give me that. Give me that. And with that, we are out of show.
Wonderful.
Would you do us the honor? Well, let's make an announcement. We are doing a show next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There'll be one.
We-
There'll be one in store for your Thanksgiving commute.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to get away from your families, tune into the Backburners next week.
Yep.
We'll be eating live on air,
Mm.
even though we'll be apart.
Each backburner is going to eat a whole turkey
Yep.
in
Oh.
under 20 minutes.
Oh, God.
And
I don't think that's possible.
we're going to shotgun gravy.
Ugh.
Yep. To the dome.
Ugh. I think
Little-
you need to eat some soggy butthole bread live on air.
No,
We do
let's-
need some
let's have a
Thanksgiving, some Thanksgiving themed topics. Thanksgiving is a very football centric holiday. Honestly,
is.
It
It's
is.
really part
It
of
is.
the tradition.
We could talk about how, I mean, granted, yes, football is a part of
Who plays on the Thanksgiving game?
It's usually
this
the
year?
Cowboys.
playing somebody.
What's the Cowboys and one other, the Packers?
The Lions always play on
The
Thanksgiving.
Lions.
But like that's the horrible thing about Thanksgiving football is like the Cowboys usually suck. Granted, they're mediocre this year, but then we have to watch the 0-8-1 Lions.
Yep.
yeah, no matter who they're
Thanksgiving.
playing, it's never a great
Detroit
game.
Rock City.
Exactly. Like,
So
come on, NFL. I know it's tradition, but let's get some better games.
Why
on.
them too? Like, why did
It's just the way it's always been. I don't know.
Ooh, there's actually a couple good games. So there's one bad game.
The Lions game.
Lions Bears.
That's horrible.
That's gonna be a
I'm not
nightmare.
watching that game.
We have Raiders
Wait,
Cowboys.
Is that the morning? Is that the morning game?
So Bears Lions is at 10:30.
Let's go. Thank God.
Yeah. We have Raiders Cowboys at 2:30.
Mm.
And then Bills Saints.
Oh, for the night game.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Let's have a mini I disagree really quick.
Okay.
Because we've had this debate for the past 5 years. Soggy
talking
butthole bread
Soggy butthole
is inferior to stuffing in the oven. I'll let you lay out your case first.
Okay,
Can I get some context?
Okay, so he calls when you put stuffing in the bird, Sherm calls it soggy butthole bread because
Because it is.
it comes out and it's moist.
Yeah.
The
stuffing?
yes,
Yeah.
the stuffing. But I think it's superior because you get the flavor of the bird, and it pairs better with the turkey because it tastes more like turkey because you're not using chicken broth in it. You're literally using turkey broth to make your stuffing, and then you just smother it. No matter what, your stuffing is going to be soggy because you just smother it in gravy.
I don't. I make really good stuffing.
You do, and I'm not saying your stuffing is bad, but I'm saying that soggy butthole bread, in air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
is the better stuffing than just out of the oven.
I
I'll
disagree
eat
with you.
stuffing out of the oven.
No. For me, it's all about texture. And the way I do my stuffing, I use just enough stock. So you take day-old bread, right? Or I usually take Hawaiian bread, and I put it in the oven to mimic, it being stale. So I saute up some veg, maybe some sausage, some apple, some onion, toss it all together, use just enough stock to kind of get everything combined, but not to make it a soupy mess. Throw it in the oven, maybe put a little cheese on top, broil it nice and crispy. I mean, I'll take that any day versus, senior citizen food that they serve down at the retirement home, okay?
When you take the stuffing out of the bird, though, it's not a soupy mess. It still clumps together.
But it's just bad. It's not good.
No, it's not.
It's not good.
It is. It's delicious.
I think you're wrong, and we both think we're wrong.
Yeah.
So I win. How
Wait.
about that?
What's the best bite of Thanksgiving meals.
You go first.
Okay.
Tell me how you build your bite.
Build the bite. So, mashed tater on top, stuffing in the middle, turkey, and since I do not like cranberry, I don't put cranberry on it. But, yeah, and then maybe like a little bit of green bean salad or some, what's that thing called that I'm making?
Cream corn casserole?
Cream corn casserole. That also pairs very well with turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Okay.
it's like a 3-4 layer thing for me. It just, obviously, it's gravy soup on,
right.
on my Thanksgiving plate.
Right. Okay. Here's what I do for the bite. There's a certain way where I plate everything. So I go turkey, kind of, going, from what is that, like 9 o'clock to the center.
Okay.
Okay.
12.
Or 12. No. This way. 9 o'clock. Perpendicular.
Oh,
right.
I got you.
This way. I get mashed potatoes, right? You make like a nice ball and you put a hole in the middle, put the gravy in there. And
the hole in the middle of the mashed potatoes is superior.
It is. Because then you don't want gravy running all over the place. You want to keep it separated. You want to keep it separated until you start eating, because then it makes everything soggy. Right.
Okay.
So, turkey, mashed potatoes at the top, probably 4 rolls. I go nuts for carbs. Cranberry. I do like cranberry sauce. I do, because
do you make your own or do you do the canned? Because the canned
depends on what family I'm with.
The canned is gross.
We do both homemade. Both homemade cranberry sauce.
That's
fine. That's the
fine.
way to do it.
That's fine, because the stuff that comes out of a can, it like holds the shit. It's just ugh.
The reason I like cranberry sauce is because it's tart and it kind of takes, it cuts through the fat of all the meal.
Yeah.
So I do that. What else is there? Stuffing. Lots of stuffing. Lots and lots of stuffing. So I'll cut some turk. I will jam it into my stuffing. I will take a swipe out of the mashed potatoes with the gravy, and then I'll take my knife and kind of wedge some cranberry in there. And I'll throw it on a roll, and basically,
You're like making little sliders.
I'm making sliders.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Okay.
You're maximizing your carb intake.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I like to have like more mashed potato and like more stuffing and just like not like a little piece of turkey, but like not a massive piece of turkey.
Right. Yeah. Dessert, we do disagree about dessert.
Look, I'm not shitting on pumpkin pie. I think pumpkin pie is delicious.
But the fact that you'd have pecan pie.
Pecan pie. 100%. It's the superior pie.
No.
For me to enjoy pumpkin pie, I have to smother it in whipped cream.
No, my dear boy. You are so mistaken. Pumpkin pie is elite. It is elite. It's better than pecan pie. You know why? Because it doesn't get stuck in your teeth. You don't have to, fish it out of your your molars.
Okay, but I also like Heath candy bars, so I like stuff like getting stuck in my teeth.
No, pumpkin pie is elite, especially when you keep it in the fridge and you pull it out and it's cold and it's just like.
Do you like cheesecake for Thanksgiving?
I don't think it's a Thanksgiving dessert. I don't like it for Thanksgiving
I like it for Thanksgiving.
I don't, because you eat so much and then you're like, wow, I got to eat cheesecake now.
Ugh. Well, so the way my family does dinner is we do dinner at like 1 or 2 o'clock, which is outrageous, and I hate it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you just go into this food coma, but then at like 6 o'clock, you're like, I'm hungry again. So like you just pull everything back out of the fridge. You get, turkey and rolls and stuffing. And then like once you're done with that, you got to have another piece of pie.
Yeah. The unsung hero of Thanksgiving, leftover sandwiches.
100%.
I have perfected the art. Would you like me to tell you?
We're talking a lot about food.
We are. But it's that time of year.
Maybe we should table that.
We should save that for next week.
For next week.
Maybe I'll make one on air.
There you go. But you're not.
I guess it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Do you want to hear what my psycho family does?
Yes.
For the turkey? Just good old Yakima, Washington.
Yeah.
Can't have your veggies touching your taters and whatnot.
That's right.
And the big priority for Thanksgiving is the crescent rolls that are literally like the Pillsbury ones. I'm pretty sure
those are so good.
They're super good. But my grandpa, like, that's the most important part. So my grandma cooks the turkey a day before. So we eat actually cold turkey with our Thanksgiving dinner. It's always served cold. My family never eats it hot.
Why don't you just throw it in the microwave?
They don't want it hot. They want it. Yeah, they want it cold. So they eat it cold, and then the rolls are like when we eat dinner. So like once the rolls come out of the oven, then everyone sits down and we eat dinner. So the rolls are hot, and it's literally just for my grandfather. It's the only reason we do it. But
interesting.
The whole meal is around the bread, not the meat.
Interesting.
You always hear about cold turkey. No, I've never heard it actually put into play.
Cold turkey it's a thing.
Oh, it's good. It just seems like insane. Like no one does.
Yeah.
Everyone cooks the turkey. Like all day you're waiting for the turkey to be done cooking, basically. But for us, it's like we could eat whenever. It's like, oh, why haven't we ate yet? And it's like, oh, because the rolls aren't ready. It's like they take 8 minutes. Like we could just do that whenever.
That's pretty wild.
I love learning about other people's Thanksgiving traditions.
Yeah, no one in my family likes it. Like my mom just refused. So like sometimes we do a Thanksgiving like a week before where we'd have a hot turkey because she just hated it so much.
Yeah.
And then on her side we'd always do the hot turkey, and then everyone I've ever met does hot turkey. It's like only our family's thing.
Yeah, always. One crazy thing that my grandpa does, he will grab a roll and he'll split it in half, and if you're sitting next to him, he'll go, "Hey, you want half a roll?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure." And then like 5 minutes later, he grabs another roll and he's like, "Hey, you want half a roll?" And then by the end of dinner, you're like, "Hey, how many rolls do you have?" He goes, "I had 8 halves." You're like, "So you had 4?" And he goes, "No, I had 8 halves."
That's the most classic dad joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's just what he does.
My least favorite part about Thanksgiving, I guess not my least favorite, when we're in Eugene, we do commercials for the furniture store.
I miss being home for long periods of time so I can still see those.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty fun when I would like go home for Christmas break, be watching TV, and it's like, "Hey, there's Sherman." With your goofy little smile and wave.
Smile and wave, boys.
Oh, those commercials have to be on YouTube, right?
I can pull them up on my email somewhere, but I don't know. I don't think they'd be on YouTube.
I'm gonna find them.
No, you're not. I'll take us out of this goddamn show if I have to.
Oh yeah, I'll table that for next week too. I'll come up with a Sherman or a Schwartz family commercial compilation.
Good luck finding them. Good luck.
Everything's on YouTube.
Okay. Take us out of this show.
And that will conclude another spectacular episode of The Backburners. Shout out to the ugliest co-host of all time, Pinhead Larry, and of course our wonderful producer, Young Fabio. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at The Backburners Pod, and listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're The Backburners, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.